Hello, music fans. You're watching Death by Unicorn, and today I'm voting in the 2025 Prog Report Awards, and I figured I'd film my votes and talk through my reasonings and put it up on my channel. So Prog Report is a great website and a great YouTube channel. I've discovered some cool music through them, so big thanks to them for all the great work that they do. I respect what they do greatly. And if I had all the time in the world, I would try to be half as good as they are at doing this whole advocating for and spreading the good word of prog rock and prog metal music. So I'll also put a link in this video description so that you could vote. And fan voting ends December 10th, so you will have to vote quickly when I post this video. You won't have much time left to vote, so get your votes in. And without further ado, let's jump in. The first category is Live Album of the Year. And I'm not usually a big live album fan, but I started kind of getting into live albums more this year and checking out ones, at least from the bands that I really like. So I didn't hear Airbag live, but I heard Beat Live. That's amazing. Big Big Train live, amazing. Dream Theater, one of my favorite bands. I love this live album. But Haken here has to be my winner. This is my favorite live album of the year. I love Haken. They're one of my favorite bands as well. I didn't hear John Anderson and the Band Geeks live album, but I love their studio album. I'm sure this is good. Maybe I should check this out. Leprous is amazing. Neil Morse Fest 2024. I didn't hear that. Riverside Live ID. I didn't hear that, but I love the studio album ID Entity. And Steve Hackett Lamb stand up at the Royal Albert Hall. I didn't hear, but I love Steve Hackett and The Lamb Lies Down on Broadway by Genesis, so probably this would be good. Former guitar player of Genesis, but I'm gonna have to pick Haken. Live forms an evening with Haken. Here's my vote. Hopefully that worked. Did I do something wrong? Let's see. Oh, I'm just gonna move to the next category. Breakthrough. Breakthrough of the year 2025. Now, this one, I guess, is like new artists that got big on the scene. And I think all of these are amazing. I'm pretty sure I heard all of these. I'm not sure I heard Agro Pelter, but love Asymmetric Universe. They're a great instrumental band. Benthos, truly amazing Italian progressive metalcore. Jack the Joker, great stuff. But it's gonna have to be Jacob Roberts as the winner for me. Love it. Bought the physical copy of this and fellow Canadian, so gotta respect him. And he's doing some great prog rock music here. My runner-up would probably be Benthos with For Nothing. But Phase Transition and Royal Sorrow is also great. Sometime in February is another great instrumental one. But yeah, Jacob Roberts, The Passing, I'm gonna put my vote in. And again, it's loading for a little while, so I hope it's registering my votes. Um, I don't know. But I'm making a video, so I want to at least go through who I would vote for if it was working. Album cover of the year. Yeah, I might try to do my votes again later and see if I get past that kind of loading thing. So album cover of the year, we've got some beautiful album covers here. Aggo Pelter, that one looks pretty cool, like a skull. Arjen Lucassen, it's like a meteor about to hit the earth. He's just playing music on the beach. So that's pretty cool. I think the Aggro Pelter one's better than that though. Asymmetric Universe, yeah, it's all right. I'm surprised this is nominated. It's okay, but I think the Aggro Pelter one's the best so far. Gazpacho Magic 8 Ball, yeah, that one's all right. Still like Aggro Pelter the best. Jason Bieler, the Escapologist, yeah, pretty cool, but I think Aggro Pelter is cooler. Oh, here's one that I think is really good. More on Police Pachinko. This one's probably going to be the winner. Flower King's Love is all right. Tiktalika, this might be my runner-up. That's a pretty cool one. It looks like, 80s thrash metal and it's kind of evil. But I'm gonna go with Moron Police Pachinko for my album cover of the year from this list. Let's try to vote for that. It's doing this thing again. So I'm gonna hope that it's registered my vote. Now we'll go on to video of the year. So music video. So Oakrest, that's a great band. It's a great song, great video. Um, Probably not my favorite video of the year. Probably not the best, but still great. Benthos, yeah, this is a really great video. I loved watching that one. Blue Nowhere by Between the Buried and Me, great band, great song, great video. Probably not the best video. It's pretty straightforward. Big Big Train, the artist. So this album didn't come out this year, but it's a single for a 2026 album. And it's a really great animation. It's entertaining to watch. So I might pick this one. I think it's kind of most interesting on this list. I like all of them on here, but I'm going to go with Big Big Train as my winner. Voting. All right, let's go with album production of the year. Yeah, Asymmetric Universe is great. Oh, Chris is great. Between the Buried and Me, I love it. Dream Theater, all great production. Jack the Joker, I love this album. I'm having a hard time remembering anything particularly special about the production in particular, and it's probably hard for it to compare to heavyweights like Dream Theater and BT Bam as a kind of newer band on this list. Same thing with Okras though, although theirs has an immaculate sound. Um, Jason Bieler, good. Car Mechanic, good. Lunatic Soul sounds beautiful. I like more on Police Pachinko. I like how they have a lot of different styles blended in and everything just sounds amazing. Spock's Beard sounds amazing as well. And these last three are probably the best production. Steven Wilson, The Overview, really amazing production, but I kind of just don't want to pick it because I feel like, it's musically it's not my favorite thing by him, and I feel like everyone's gonna vote for this one. So I want to throw more on Police Pachinko a winner here. All right, let's move on to instrumental of the year 2025. So, what's the best instrumental song of the year? Um, let's see. There's some things missing here, in my opinion. Some stuff that I would want to see here. Whippy Bond Stack. I think they're a really underrated project, and the album Tactile Demons was a great instrumental album, and the track Tactile Demons is probably my favorite instrumental track of the year. Another one is Panzer Ballet and their album from this year. They had a great track with Annika Nils, the new drummer who's playing with Rush in 2026. The track's called Pick Up the Pieces. That'd be kind of my next favorite. But from this list, Asymmetric Universe is a potential winner here. Amazing genty grooves, great guitar playing. Bioscope, I listened to it, but I didn't fall in love with it that much. Simon in Space by Bumblefoot is possibly the best guitar playing of the year. So I might have to go with it. Probably my winner here. Crown Lands, I love this band, but I didn't really love their 2025 output, unfortunately. It was interesting and I respect it. They did two instrumental EPs that are kind of more of this like Native American tribal kind of vibes, as opposed to their typical rock and prog rock kind of sounding like Rush and Led Zeppelin and maybe a little bit of like Tool influence mixed in to make it like modern. Um, yeah, I can respect what they've done this year and I can say it's good, but I didn't really like listening to it. I didn't want to go back to it, so it's not what I wanted from them. Maybe if they just made one track like this, it would be cool, but with the whole albums being instrumental, that's not what I wanted from Crown Lands. Darwin's amazing. Eden Song's great. Glass Hammer, amazing track. Yeah, this is a long one, like 10 minutes long. It's not on an instrumental album though. Probably not a winner. I might want to give it to a band that is like an instrumental band that fully made an instrumental album that committed. Jonas Lindberg on the other side. This is a great instrumental as well. Amazing track, but it's not an instrumental album. But this track has a great main riff, clean electric guitar playing over an acoustic guitar, strumming, great keyboards. And it's just the kind of instrumental you could really hum and sing along to. Not the winner here, though. Lux Terminus was great. Sometime in February, potential winner here. The very melodic, very well composed track, great guitar playing. Steve Morse band, amazing guitar playing as well. But I'm gonna go with Bumblefoot, Simon in Space. I think that's the instrumental on here that I listen to the most, and it's the best guitar playing. Maybe sometime in February, an Asymmetric Universe can rival it from a composition standpoint, but I just think this one's really fun. So I'll vote for that. Now we'll go with the next category, Prog Epic of the Year. Now, I know what I have in mind here, and hopefully it's on the list. Arjen Lucassen is great, great epic. This one's great. Ocrist. I don't know what cutoff they used for defining what's an epic. I know some people use 15 minutes, but I think some of these songs aren't over 15 minutes, like Absent Thereafter by Between the Buried and Me, which is an amazing song, and I kind of don't count it as an epic because it's not quite long enough. I think it's only like 11 or 12 minutes. Usually for me, I use 13 minutes as my cutoff. I don't know, lucky number 13. That's kind of where I feel like songs become an epic length track. I know a lot of people use 15, but it looks like Prog Report's using an even lower. Maybe they're just using 10. I'm not sure. Uh, in terms of 10, like 10 minutes as the cutoff. I would probably pick this song, but I feel like that's cheating. I love Between the Buried and Me, and this is an amazing song, one of my favorite songs of the year. Shadow Man Incident's an amazing epic, but this is the best epic. Jacob Robert's The Passing. It's a 30-minute track, and I gotta pick that. Though I love Jonas Lindberg, More on Police. This song's under 15 minutes though. Spock's Beard. Yeah, Steven Wilson had some epics, but yeah, it's Jacob Robert. All right, let's move on to the next category, Prog Metal Song of the Year. This is, what do we got here? Oh, Chris is great. Benthos is great. But Between the Buried and Me are the kings of prog metal. I can't fathom how anyone's going to beat them in this category. I mean, they probably won't win because I think the Prog Report voters aren't as big on the growly stuff. And this has a lot of harsh vocals. Well, actually, this particular song doesn't have as many as other BT Bam songs, but there are some. Probably like Dream Theater will win, or like Yeah, I bet Dream Theater will just win this category because they're the most popular band. But I'm gonna go for BT Bam here, Between the Buried and Me. I love a lot of these tracks. So Benthos is probably my runner-up. Dream Theater might be my runner-up as well. Yeah, BT Bam, then Dream Theater, then Benthos. These are the top three here in prog metal. But I also love ILO, Jack the Joker, Oakrest. Eden's song is pretty great too. I mean, all of these are great. Carnival, that's one that I love. Catatonia, this wasn't my favorite track on that album. I like the album that they put out this year. A lot of people were saying it wasn't so great. Royal Sorrow is great. Terramay is great. Dictalic is great. Time's Forgotten is great. Altesia, this track is amazing, but the album I haven't heard yet. I don't think it came out. I think it must be pushed to 2026. Great track though, but it's Between the Buried and Me. Now we're going to Prog Rock Song of the Year, and here, yeah, hard to say. Big Big Train, the artist. Again, this album hasn't come out yet, so I'd love to hear it more in context of the album. I know it's going to be a concept album coming in 2026. I think it's coming in February, if I recall correctly. I'm excited for that. Could be a winner, but I kind of want to hear it in context first before I decide. All these songs are really solid songs. I'm not as keen on Jethro Tull's output this year. They're becoming kind of getting their dinosaur status at this point. They're still good, but hard for them to compete with the bands that are still in their heyday. Jonas Lindberg and The Other Side. I love this album, so I might pick that one. This might be the winner. Car Mechanic's good. Lunatic Soul. Exterminus good. Magic Pie. Moron Police. Love this Moron Police track. It's another potential winner. Amazingly fun song, but I'm not sure if it's gonna beat. I think in terms of like being fun, it's the most fun, but being the best song, best composition, it might be this Jonas Lindberg one. Spock's Beards tracks is amazing as well. Invisible. Styx is another kind of getting up there in the dinosaur category. Can't hard to imagine them winning. They're still really solid band, but there's more. Even the Flower Kings is kind of almost beating a dead horse with their sound. They're good as well, but gotta go with Jonas Lindberg and The Other Side. All right, prog metal album. This will be an exciting one. And it's got to be Between the Buried and Me, The Blue Nowhere. But I like all these albums that I've seen so far. Yeah, I've heard them all, love them all. Between the Buried and Me are kings. Dream Theater runner-up. What else? And Benthos third, just like the songs. But yeah, everything on here is excellent. You can't go wrong with any of this, anything in this category. All right, and let's go to Prog Rock Album of the Year. I don't really remember hearing the Aggro Pelter one. I feel like I need to listen to it. But I think I heard everything else in this category. Let me just make sure. Yep. I listened to every other album, maybe except the Aggro Pelter album. And great, 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 great. Everything's great, but something stands above the rest. This one's a masterpiece. Jacob Robert's The Passing. I love Jonas Lindberg, might be a runner-up here. What else? And more on Police. And yeah, I think that's how I gotta go with Jacob Robert's The Passing, fellow Canadian. There we go. Good stuff. And last category here is Artist Band of the Year. Oh, you know I'm voting for Between the Buried and Me. I'm a fanboy of Between the Buried and Me. I saw them live this year, loved it. Dream Theater was amazing. They brought back Mike Portnoy this year. Yep, it's got to be BT Bam. I'll make that vote. And that's it. Those are my votes in the Prog Report Awards. Let me know who you'd vote for in each category down in the comments. And click that link that I put in the description so that you can actually vote. And hopefully, the most deserving artists win each category. I'm hoping the ones I pick will win, but I'm not delusional. They're probably not going to win. I'm probably not going to get all my picks winning here, but maybe some of them will, and we shall see. I'm looking forward to seeing the results. And thanks for watching. Stay tuned for other great year-end content that I have on the way. I'll be talking about things like my favorite albums of the year, possibly sharing my Spotify Wrapped, and then my favorite albums in a bunch of categories like instrumental, post-hardcore, metalcore, black metal, all the various categories of rock and metal, top EPs, top live albums, top debuts. Those are some of the categories I have. If you have other ideas for videos you want me to make, let me know down in the comments. And hit that like button, hit that subscribe button if you're into metal, rock, and prog music. I talk about it regularly on my channel, and I'm sure that if you like similar music to me, you will discover amazing stuff by following and watching my videos. Peace out.